So, we're back with part 2 of how to prepare a song for an audition. It's easy to think of it maybe in 3 parts. 1, gather information. 2, find a song. 3, practice, practice, practice. So, step 1, gather information. It's important to gather as much information about the musical that you're interested in as you can. Do you know the musical? Have you heard the songs? Can you look it up on iTunes or YouTube, Spotify? It helps to be familiar with the musical. Not only should you gather a lot of information about the musical itself, but you should gather as much information as you can about the audition for the specific place that you're auditioning. So for Grand Island Little Theater, we always put out an audition notice that, of course, says the name of the musical and who the director and musical directors are going to be. But we also say what days the auditions are going to be, what time they're going to be, where they're going to be, and what you need to prepare and have ready. Make sure you know when the auditions are and put them on your calendar, and then look and see how much time you have to get ready. If you have any questions, feel free to call the director or the producer or whatever information is given on the flyer. And just ask. It's best to ask and know ahead of time. The audition notice will usually also tell you if an accompanist will be provided. Remember, the accompanist is the piano player who's going to play along with you. If an accompanist is provided, then you need to bring sheet music, which is music printed on paper, for the accompanist to play while you sing. They may also say you can have an accompaniment track that you can bring, and if that's something that you do and it's on your phone, that would be something to ask. Will they have a speaker there? Do they have a system that you can play your music on? Back in the old days, we used to use cassettes and CDs, but since those aren't used much anymore, it's best to make sure you know how you're going to play your music if it's on your phone. I almost forgot to mention why you don't want to pick a song that's a cappella. Remember, a cappella means to sing without musical accompaniment. It's easy to sing without a piano or vocal track, but it's harder to tell if you're staying in tune. And so the music director is going to want to hear if you can sing along with music to know if you're in tune and can hold a pitch relative to other instruments. Also, when you're singing a cappella, it's easy to get nervous and speed up and slow down and just kind of lose where you are in the song. And having that accompaniment, whether on the piano or with an accompaniment track, helps you feel more secure and know that you're keeping a steady beat and you're staying in tune. So don't do a cappella if at all possible. So after you've gathered as much information as you can about the audition process, then you need to find a song. So first think about the musical itself. Because you looked at the musical, you'll have an idea what it's about. Is it happy? Is it upbeat? Is it kind of sad and serious? And it's helpful to pick a song that kind of matches the style of that musical. Some people actually sing songs from that musical for their auditions, but you don't have to do that. But if it's a happy, upbeat musical, you may want to have a happy, upbeat song so that you can demonstrate that type of singing and show that on your face and with your body when you sing. You should also think about your vocal range. As we talked about chest voice and head voice in the last video, it's important to know where you're strongest and where your break is, and to find a song that really emphasizes the best parts of your voice. I like singing in my chest voice. It's harder for me to sing in my head voice, and my break can get a little scary. So I wouldn't want to pick a song where all the notes are right around my break, or I would squeak and squawk my way through the whole song. You do want to show low and you do want to show high if you can, but make sure you're not picking a song that's spending a lot of time on a part of your voice that's not comfortable for you to sing. So once you've thought about these things, you need to actually find a song. Well, where do you find a song? Well, you can find songs in musical books, which can be purchased at local music stores, or you could purchase online, or even check out from the library. You can also find music online from sheet music places, such as musicnotes.com or Sheet Music Plus. They even have a section for auditions that have songs specifically that work well for auditions. You usually can find a voice part that works well for you too. Another good resource is to ask your music teacher at school. They know your voice probably better than anybody, and they may have some songs. Just make sure you give them plenty of time to help you find something and not wait till the last minute. Usually for musicals, people choose a Broadway song, Broadway being the heart and soul of musical theater. So when we say a Broadway song, we mean a song from a musical. But you can also pick pop songs if it fits with what you're trying to convey. Make sure that the lyrics are appropriate for your age and also show your range. And usually musical theater songs are better for both of those things than a pop song. But don't rule out a pop song completely. If there's one that you can sing well and feel comfortable with, that might be a good option. Once you've picked a song, the next step is to practice. Practice, practice, practice. You're going to need to memorize those lyrics, which means get all those words up here in your brain so that you know that song inside and out. Now, if the audition wants you to sing the full song, then by all means prepare the full song. But if they only asked for a short snippet, like a verse and a chorus, or 30 seconds, or 32 bars, you can mark out in the music where you want to start and where you want to finish. You can mark it with pencil. This is where I'm going to start. And this is where I'm going to end. And you can cross out things if you're skipping parts. Just make sure that you make it very clear for the accompanist where you're going in the music. And then practice that cut. Practice the song with those cuts. As you practice your song, it's a good idea to mark places in the music where you're going to take a breath. Sometimes there's really long phrases where you have to sing and gasp for air in the middle. It's not a good way to do it. So it's good to mark in the music. I'm going to take a big breath here. I'm going to take a breath here. Take a little one here. You should also mark in the music maybe where you need to transition from chest voice to head voice, and so that you can feel comfortable where that is going to happen. Because if you just kind of wing it on audition day, you might get a little squeaky and squawky. If you have a voice teacher or a music teacher, someone who can help you work on those real specific things of singing, that's always a great idea. It's always great to get as much help as you can. But if you don't have those options, that's okay. Just make sure that you're practicing singing your song until you feel super comfortable with the words and the melody and how the song goes. Once you have all that down, it's important to start to add facial expressions and gestures. We don't sing like this when we sing for theater. We like to have big eyebrows. Lift your eyebrows up and your eyes wide and your face expressive and your hands. And so you can find ways to add gestures that are natural to the lyrics. So read the lyrics and see, is it something that's exciting that you convey, or is it something that's really sad and stressful? You can use your hands and your face as you sing to convey those feelings. Once you have the lyrics and the melody and the gestures in your face, then it's important to practice in front of a mirror or videotape yourself so you can see what you look like and see what could you change and what could you make better. Then you need to practice in front of other people. Your family is going to be your biggest help, because if you can sing in front of your family, sometimes that's actually harder than singing in front of strangers. Ultimately, the more you practice, the more prepared you're going to feel. If you just wait till the last minute and wing it, you're not going to feel prepared. Oh, and that's one other thing. So many people practice a song and prepare it and then last minute freak out and think, this isn't a good song, I need to change my song. Don't do that. Don't change your song last minute. Trust what you've practiced and bring that to auditions, and you'll be the most successful. So you've gathered information, you've picked a song that fits your voice, you've practiced as much as you can, and now it's the day of auditions, which you've marked on your calendar, and you arrive early so you know you're there on time. What do you do on the day of auditions? That'll be our next video.